The Hawaii Conference has elected a new president. Aloha, I'm Connie Vandeman Jeffrey, and this is All God's People. Delayed for 2 years by the pandemic, the Hawaii Conference met for their regular constituency session on April 24, 2022. Delegates from across the islands of Hawaii gathered at the Honolulu Central Church for fellowship, worship, to accept the reports from their leadership, and to elect the officers who will now lead the conference. Elected as president is Erik VanDenburgh, replacing Ralph Watts III, who is retiring. Re-elected were Jay Warren, Executive Secretary, and Benjamin Supit, Treasurer. Pacific Union Conference President Bradford C. Newton, as well as the other officers of the Pacific Union, were on hand to participate and assist in conducting the session, and Elder Newton served as chair of the nominating committee. The unique opportunities and challenges facing the churches and schools that serve a community defined by its diversity were uppermost in the minds of the delegates and leaders who gathered for the constituency meeting. Incoming President Erik VanDenburgh reflected the concerns and hopes in a conversation following the meeting.
I believe that we have challenges that are unique to Hawaii. It's very expensive to live, to do ministry, to function, to operate our schools, our youth programs, and our churches. And so we need to find creative ways to be able to fund our ministries and to pour into our schools and to make sure that these ministries are here for future generations. I'm really looking forward to being able to work with all of the islands and the people that are in those churches and in those schools. I believe that when we come together and we sit down, we spend time praying and asking for the Holy Spirit to guide, that He has a plan and that He's going to reveal it to us.
Elder Ralph Watts III retired at the session after serving more than 16 years as president of the Hawaii Conference. He and his wife Sharon are returning to the mainland and will continue to reside in the Pacific Union near their parents, children, and grandchildren. On the eve of his retirement from the presidency of the Hawaii Conference, Elder Watts also spoke with clear convictions about the ohana that is at the core of the Adventist Church in Hawaii.
Because Hawaii is ohana, so this is family, everything revolves around ohana and aloha. And so the community, the most effective way of actually reaching a community and a people is through this environment of everything is done with an understanding that Hawaii is this. This is our DNA. It's aloha, it's ohana. And so the most effective way to reach out is going to be through relationships. It's through family, it's through relationships, because this is who we are. This is the DNA of these islands. And without question, this is by far the most effective way. It's going to be through relationships.
Pacific Union College is celebrating 140 years in 2022. At the homecoming celebration on Sabbath, April 16, the 24th president of Pacific Union College, Dr. Ralph Trecartin, was inaugurated at a worship-filled service in the Pacific Union College sanctuary. Elder Sandra Roberts, chair of PUC's Board of Trustees, hung the presidential medallion around his neck. After beautiful music and moving speeches, Dr. Trecartin was joined by his wife Virginia on the platform. Surrounded by his academic colleagues and the PUC Board of Trustees, Dr. Bradford C. Newton, president of the Pacific Union Conference, prayed the prayer of dedication for Dr. Trecartin. We wish you many blessings, Dr. Trecartin, as you take up this challenge and opportunity to lead our beloved Pacific Union College. And happy 140th anniversary, PUC. A link to the entire service is in the description box. Sherry Dawson, third grade teacher at South Bay Christian School and passionate lifelong reader, was honored at the LA Clippers Teachers Appreciation Night recently. Dawson was one of 7 teachers recognized that night. Before the game started, the group was invited to the floor, where they each were announced and given a plaque. Dawson received 4 floor seat tickets and an additional 20 tickets for friends and family to celebrate with. This honor acknowledged her dedication to helping her students find joy in reading. Congratulations, Mrs. Dawson. We're proud of you and your students. Adventist education from pre-K through college and beyond is a hallmark of our church's mission. From third grade teacher Sherry Dawson to college president Dr. Ralph Trecartin, we say thank you for your dedication and commitment to our students and to your calling. Isaiah 40:31 comes to mind as I think of our leaders and educators. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. I hope all God's people will commit to praying for our new leadership team in Hawaii, for all of our conference leaders and pastors, and for the teachers, principals, and presidents of every single educational institution in the Pacific Union. For all God's people, I'm Connie Jeffrey.